not dying now. It's 2 a.m, I'm in Hawaii and I'm dying. The pain comes in my body and the voice in my mind confirms it. Too scary to tap, too real to tap, too much to tap. Don't ask me to tap. You can't ask me to tap. Tapping's all right for emotional things, but this is cancer after all. It is real. As I look down the barrel of my own emotional gun, my mind flashes back to conversations with another practitioner when I recall saying to her of her fibromyalgia recovery account, "It's all right for you. You've got a story. I don't have one." Well, be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. I'll rephrase that. Be careful what you ask for. You will definitely get it. I definitely had a story now. The question was, would I live to tell it? 9 months earlier, and my life seemed to be finally turning the corner. I was getting what I wanted, supporting myself by living my passion, FasterEFT master practitioner, travelling the world, having fun and helping people, at the top of my game. And then there it was, a lump on my neck, a cancer diagnosis. The medical solution for what the doctor described as an aggressive cancer in my tonsil and some lymph nodes was surgery to the neck, followed by 6 weeks of radiation and chemotherapy. Long story short, I said yes to the surgery and no to the chemo and radiation. The biggest no of my life. The biggest yes to me. Yes to my innate wisdom. So I said no and left Ireland for my beloved Habilitat, where I knew there would be healing and support from Robert and my FasterEFT community and the residents, my Habilitat family. But I have to say, it's one thing to say no. It's another thing to deal with the outcomes of our decisions. Saying no and then taking the consequences. So here I am, lying in a top bunk in the female dorm in Habilitat, world famous drugs and alcohol rehabilitation unit. I'm there to volunteer my work with the residents and as a training coordinator with the newer practitioners. 12 other girls slumber while I play out the grim reality in my mind that I am, in fact, dying. With every sordid, terrifying aspect that accompanies not only death, but a cancer death, my mind makes pictures that play havoc with my sanity. The fear reaches the point of no return, the lowest point. There is nothing left but to tap, the turning point. Slowly, I lift my 2 fingers to my head and I begin to tap, repeating "let it go" in my mind over and over as I silently tap. Gradually, the peak of agony in my mind subsides and there's some relief. And then, after an hour and a half of tapping, eternity in fear time, the thought comes, well, you're not dying now, Deirdre. You're not actually dying now, in this minute, now, are you? So, you might as well live. You might as well live right now, in this minute, now. You might as well tap on the fear and live now. And so it began. In that moment, I began to live. In that moment, I believe the unconscious judge signalled to the conscious jury that it was okay to go with the verdict to live. The conscious and the unconscious making peace with each other. In that moment, I continue to tap and live. In the moment, now. And then in the next one, now. And then in the one after that, now. And slowly, I got an inkling of what it's like to live now. Now. Not in the past, it was gone. Not in the future, I didn't have it. But right now, in my mind, in the dark, in that bunk, in that dorm, in that rehab, Habilitat, place of change. In those moments, I began to learn, not just intellectually, but, and this is the crucial key component, in the experience of it, that life is really all about mastering the art of gratitude for the miracle of just this moment. Living my life in a state of stress had been habitual for as long as I could remember. Not that I knew that, of course. Back then, abnormal was normal. Childhood experiences, both at home and at school, had kept me in the customary state of fight, flight, freeze. Compounded by the political and cultural chaos of war-torn Northern Ireland, this continued into my adult life. A directionless career, a childless marriage that ended, the suicide of my father, to name but a few. Confusion in my emotional world fueled my destructive and sometimes reckless life. Drinking and smoking were my main coping skills, and I was very skilled at both. I worked too hard and I played too hard. Despite various achievements in my life, an honours degree, partner in a family business, completing 3 marathons, a 200-mile maracycle, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and trekking in the Himalayas, my sense of self-worth was at rock bottom. Why? Because the conscious and subconscious records, memories, I was carrying at that time provided the proof for my belief that I was a guilty disappointment and I would never be good enough. I first came across FasterEFT when my brother and business partner Paul found Robert Smith's videos on YouTube. My mum, dad, brother and myself had been running the family furniture business together. We, I am the eldest of 5 children, and my mother, were all so traumatised by my father's tragic death. And Paul had the further pain of losing his mentor, friend and daily work companion. FasterEFT had offered Paul relief for himself and his family. The changes prompted Paul to continue watching the FasterEFT videos on YouTube, and he tapped along with them. One morning he arrived into work feeling very upbeat. He had discovered that Robert Smith was to hold a seminar in Cork, Ireland. Excited and delighted that my brother had found something that worked for him, we set about organising for Paul and his family to take the trip to the other end of the country to meet Robert. I would stay behind and take care of the business. On a phone call a few days later, Paul and his wife Tracy could only rave about how brilliant Robert was, and I finally decided I wanted to know more. I set about booking an appointment with this man. As I took time out of my work to make the phone call, I will always remember how foolish and nervous I felt about asking for help. This I remember to this day when a client calls me. As it happened, Robert was about to leave for Greece, but he offered to meet me at the airport. Not possible, I said. I'm at the other end of the country. He said if I paid his airfare to Greece, he would change his ticket and come to Newcastle to see me. As a million thoughts raced through my head and as many emotions ran through my body, Robert's declaration that he could get rid of my demons sealed the deal. It was October 2009, fate stepped in and Robert Smith was on his way to Newcastle, County Down, Northern Ireland. In a confusion of apprehension and excitement, we are both quite shy, I welcomed Robert into my home and invited 40 friends and family to hear him speak in my living room. Borrowing chairs from a local hotel, I was able to share this amazing man and his powerful message with those closest to me. In addition, Robert tapped on myself and family members in private sessions. He encouraged me to sit in and watch the work. I bought the ultimate training home study kit and thus unfolded the next stepping stone on the journey of my life's truest destination. I spent that winter watching the DVDs, and in February 2010 I attended my first FasterEFT training seminar, levels 1 and 2 in Oklahoma City, USA. The formidable connections and lifelong friendships forged with the incredible people I met during that week were second only to the powerful passion fueled in me to share this work and show others just like me that there is another way. My FasterEFT journey led me to complete all levels of training, attaining the top certification of Master Practitioner in October 2012. Working with thousands of people on an incredible range of challenges, the highlight of my work has been serving in Habilitat. My relationship with this unique place of change is a story in itself for another day. To sum it up for now, let me just say, life is always about exchange. Up until that time, I had certainly seen and experienced changes with FasterEFT. As a master practitioner, I had helped a lot of people, and I had even played my integral part in helping Robert Smith take this already powerful modality to the next level. But as I teach my clients and practitioners today, my real purpose during the night of the Dance with Cancer was to find the gift in the crisis, to make the lowest point the turning point. Without FasterEFT, I could not have done that. Without FasterEFT, I would not have had the awareness, the understanding, and most importantly, crucially, the system that enabled me to let my mind and body heal itself. As people who have been through the cancer experience know, whether personally or with family, once it comes into the field of vision, it just seems to take over. My body knows exactly how to heal. I tapped and reframed every single time. Every time I felt the pangs of pain that caused the familiar rush of fear. Every time I heard another sad story. Every time I got that look from someone. Are you in remission? Did you get the all clear? Every time there was another death. Every time I felt the guilt when I was living and they weren't. Through FasterEFT and everything else I had learned about the mind-body connection, I knew that the most important factor in healing and staying healthy was how I felt. I also knew that how I felt was determined by where I put my focus. FasterEFT taught me not only that where I put my focus was decided by my subconscious records, but crucially, FasterEFT taught me how to change them. When I was diagnosed with cancer, as terrifying as it was, I was aware that my knowledge of how the mind and body work would be an essential part of my recovery. With the amazing help and support of Robert and other friends and FasterEFT practitioners, I got through the darkness, doubt and fear of perhaps the most challenging experience of my life. All that was 4 years ago. Since then, lots of taps and a lot of noise. Today, I am happier and healthier than I have ever been before. I continue to use FasterEFT in conjunction with my Powerhouse of Peace Self-Mastery program, and I'm living a life I love every day. The person I am today is the result of removing the subconscious programs that were hiding the real me before. I am finally thriving in the now as my authentic self, with a passion that serves countless others to do the same. As I write this, I am celebrating my 60th year, and I can safely say I am childlike in the giddiness of joy to think about what could be coming next. But above all, I am grateful to get to live this great adventure called life, moment by moment, now.